Okay, YouTubers, so I got the Dukane amp going. I have it set up with the qualms here, so. Now, what I did was those two qualms are hooked up to this amp, but I just took the connector and I put it in the back because I have these spay connectors on the wire here. By the way, I got this wire I cut off a water softener that somebody threw out in my couple blocks down from my house. I cut the cord off and it had those nice spay connectors. Perfect for these amps, such as this one and the Classic, since they use the old-fashioned type terminals. And this amp sounds like perfect. And it's vintage. It's a vintage amp and it sounds so good for its age. It has its own characteristics of sound, I like to call it. Nice treble, nice bass, but not extreme, as I like to call it, compared to the Toho, where you could crank the bass control all the way wide open, and there'll be a bunch of bass obviously coming up. But this one, if you crank this one all the way up, it's not too crazy. The switches, I like the switch too. It's kind of different compared to your typical, I like to call these power strip type switches, because usually you find these switches on like a power strip or something. But yeah, so I got a song loaded here. Some songs that I recorded off of some streaming service. Oh man, maybe 4 years ago now. So here we go. Copyright free music. So this one's got the aux and the master. You want to preset your aux and then you can do your master. Just like that. It's not extreme. And not much. Just a single mono input. I just have a splitter hooked up in the back. / combiner. So yeah. And the nice thing, like, let's say like the switch, either this switch or that switch were to go bad. These switches are replaceable, believe it or not. And you can still find, like, if you go to an electronics store, or probably like places like Amazon.com where they sell some variety of components, you can find switches still. Maybe not in this style, but you can find other types of switches that will clip right in. This one, the wires are soldered. This one has little spay connectors on it, so yeah. One thing I do notice about this amp, it does get quite toasty in the back. Those transistors get quite toasty on this amp. All the other amps I have, they don't get that toasty. Like, maybe the power transformer gets a little warm, but this one it gets pretty toasty in the back. But then too, it's a vintage amp. So, the technology has changed over time, but it looks like this amp will not need any recapping either. Because I don't hear no bad filter hum issues or any of that. And like I said, these orange caps here, these orange things you see, those are spray capacitors, which were common back on devices in that time period. I suspect this got to be from maybe the 70s, possibly. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and once again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to buy this amp from you. You know who you are, so I'm sure you'll see the video. I'm glad to acquire this amp and have it going on the system.